Okay, well, today I'm going to teach you about CTE in history of football. I'm sure many of you know what football is and have obviously watched it. And yeah. Okay, first off, how I got interested. In 2012, I remember sitting on my couch watching like CNN or something, and I saw breaking news come across the screen. NFL football player Junior Seau, former NFL player, had committed suicide in his California home. He had shot himself in the stomach. So they would preserve his brain for medical research. And Junior Seau was one of the hardest hitting linebackers in NFL history. He was an excellent player and, yeah, known for doing that to other players. And I'm sure everyone's watched or seen football, so they kind of understand some of the hits and what goes on, but I'm going to show you like a few examples. So as you can see, football, there's a lot of hitting to the head, repetitive trauma to the head, which can cause concussions, injuries, and obviously issues. So next I'm going to tell you about how CTE, which is kind of like the repetitiveness of head trauma, and football got connected. First off, I'm going to introduce you to this guy. His name is Mike Webster. He was a former center for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was an All-Pro and was one of the best in his position ever. And he died at the age of 50, which was kind of rare for, I mean, as healthy of an individual he was. And next I'm going to introduce you to Dr. Bennett Omalu. Dr. Bennett Omalu is a Nigerian neurosurgeon who's been known for kind of his groundbreaking discoveries with the brain. And you're probably wondering how these two are connected together. Dr. Bennett Omalu performed the first brain autopsy on Mike Webster, which was the first NFL player to have that done. And his findings were significant. According to an article found on PBS.org titled "The Autopsy That Changed Football," the unknown effects of repetitive hits to the head changed forever in football. Dr. Omalu found significant brain tissue damage, dead tissue cells everywhere, and the brain was basically half the size of what it should be. This finding changed everything about football and what we knew about CTE. So now I'm going to kind of explain more about what CTE is. Okay, so CTE is basically caused by repetitive blunt trauma to the head, which causes your brain to shake like this, giving you a concussion. As your brain bounces back and forth in your skull, it then bruises, killing dead tissue cells and causing blood clots. CTE then advances as you get more and more concussions and eventually kills off more than half your brain. A description found on Boston Education's website about CTE tells that the CTE is a brain degenerative disease. As you can see here, you have just your normal brain setup, and then obviously it looks pretty nasty. It's just caused by dead tissue. And then on an article by protectthebrain.org, symptoms of CTE include memory loss, loss of motor function, depression, anger issues, and it's kind of like the feeling, if any of you have ever had a concussion, you understand that you don't really understand pretty much anything, but eventually after like a week or so it goes away. CTE is that like times 2, and it doesn't ever go away. Let's see where that goes. And here's some more examples of, here's just brain tissue, normal, that's like starting CTE, and then as you can see it's just straight dead tissue. The connection between CTE and football. The NFL has forever denied that CTE actually existed in football until 2016 when they announced that there was a connection. Roughly 20,000 NFL players have been affected by CTE and just brain issues that we know of since 2002. And an article by CNN, many NFL players were linked to brain concussions. They did a study on 91 former NFL football players, and 87 of them had confirmed CTE, which is kind of crazy to think about. That's such a high percentage. And they also have a lawsuit now going against the NFL worth $5 billion, and it's going to be paid out to 5,000 NFL players, but obviously it could affect 20,000. There have been many suicides from CTE in NFL. I think the count is at 29 now, but I'm not for sure. And organizations like the NFL Players Association are making a difference to try and make football a healthier way and make the NFL players play how they should. Okay. My conclusion, well, today I showed you what the connection between NFL and CTE is and how we're making steps to combat CTE. There are ways to play football safer. An example from Dartmouth College, they, instead of using actual player versus player, they use motorized tackling dummies to get the same practice they need without the same hits to the head. And then there are ways that the NFL can continue to play while playing smart and playing safe with rules such as targeting to keep players safe from taking hits to the head.